a helmet, seatbelt, what could happen? At least I know what I'm doing. Ow! Oh. Ow! Is that car running? You always do this.
I know, like...
Turn to the new power suck mode. I was gonna get to that. Let's back into position, Al.
All right.
Be sure the trigger switch is not locked in the on position.
Any idiot knows that, Al. Set your depth gauge and get going. Perfect, Al. Just does a good job of scrolling. Safeties are basically a solenoid. Very impossible to shoot it when you don't want to shoot it. Oh, what is this one here?
I thought you said it was a technical problem.
Technically, I was the problem, Jill. Man's night. Cigars, smoke, scratching parts of you, burping, body noises without any kind of apology. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I flopped on you.
How is that different from any other night?
Well, there'll be other men doing it with me.
I was thinking more along the line of season tickets to the opera.
Oh! That's a Greek word, isn't it? Death by music. Jill, I can't work with this noise.
How can you call that noise?
That's not noise, that's a proctology exam.
What's it doing on the pegboard? Shouldn't tape be in a drawer?
Jill, this is a garage, not fabric world.
I thought if there was a problem with the car that the light would get brighter or there would be a buzzer.
A buzzer? It's a car, not a game show. What's that smell?
Oh, it's some lavender potpourri.
Lavender potpourri. This is the garage, not the Liberace Museum. I don't think it's creative energy or sense, and this is Grease energy. It's man energy, and boy, it's tough. Even for a woman like you, this would suck the estrogen right out of you, honey. Little baboons, where do they learn this stuff?
Possibly from the big baboon.
Oh, yeah. Wilson?
Howdy, neighbor.
What are you doing over there?
Oh, just mending the bellows in my accordion.
Cool. Wilson. What are you doing?
Just carving out a canoe, Tim.
What are you making over there?
Building a porcupine trap.
Really? I don't think there's a whole lot of porcupine in the Detroit area, are there?
Aha, but if you build it, they will come.
Hey, Wilson. What are you up to?
Just painting a self-portrait.
Yeah, of who? Boy, does that smell good. Baby back ribs?
No. Squirrel.
Wilson, can I ask you something?
Make your best pitch, Tim.
Can I ask you a question?
Wolf my tweeter, Tim.
Can I ask you something?
Jingle my bell, neighbor.
How do women and men even stay together?
It has to do with barbed wire, Tim. Sounds like you were having an asymmetrical conversation.
Asymmetrical? How do you spell that?
Well, Tim, it sounds to me like you're a victim of the hierarchical structure of male conversation.
Hierarchical. How do you spell that?
We need to get back to something more primitive. Atavistic.
Atavistic. How do you spell that?
You see, Tim, as Khalil Gibran said, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow.
Ah, it's beautiful. Oh, yeah, it is. I have no idea what you just said.
Someone's planted the concept of bad luck in your mind, and therefore your subconscious is expecting bad luck. Ergo, bad luck happens.
There you go.
Well, Tim, this obsessive desire to create partly happens because men feel inferior to women. It's because we can't bear children.
I don't mind the boys that much.
There was a time when we had a matriarchal society.
Matriarchal society. Run by maitre d's?
No, Tim, it's when women rule the world.
Get out of here. Well, they didn't have wars, they had bake-offs.
I think the problem might be your meta message.
There'd be message with meta on the front of it.
Yes, Reba. 2 M's, 3 E's, 2 A's, 2 S's, T, and a lonely little G.
You have an awful lot of spare time, don't you, Wilson? That's the magic word. That's thank you. Please is I gotta put on the steering box today. And you know what that means? Welding. Sparks, heat, noise, sweat.
Wow, we should have welded on our honeymoon.
When do we get to the room? Oh. What about that steamy night in Saugatuck we spent, huh?
There might be one short paragraph.
I bet it says something like, tonight I saw paradise.
And it was a very small island.
Put your left arm on the tool.
The wrench.
The wrench.
By now, it should be partially erect. The tent.
Yeah.
Tim, do you ever listen to me? It was the last thing that I said in bed to you last night.
No, I believe, if you recall, the last thing you said to me in bed last night was, no! Do what you will to me. Over and over.
Let's face it, Tim, with you, once it's over, it's over.
I remember the song that we heard when we were in the back of my Corvair and steaming the windows.
So do I. The Minute Waltz. I'll be going upstairs now.
You want company?
No, just you.
Shouldn't we take the boys to bed?
Nah, leave them. It'll only take a minute anyway.
I'm feeling pretty spry, honey. Maybe a minute 5, minute 10.
Why didn't you have Al here to help you?
I mean, he's really good on the show. I love that guy.
My father and I watched all the time.
Good.
We really like Al.
Tim the Toolman Taylor. He works with Al. You know I love Al.
Welcome to Tool Time. This is Al over here.
We know Al. Oh, we love Al.
Oh, we all love Al.
Tim, you embarrassed me today.
Oh, it's no big deal. I always embarrass you. Look at that butt crack you got going there. I think we got to start today by spackling Al's butt crack shut, huh? We'll be covering that sink and backsplash in this lovely pinkish sort of tile.
I believe that shade is called kumquat. It's ephemeral yet graceful.
Just like you, Al. Al, do you suppose they call it afraid because it's scared of something?
I really doubt it, Tim.
Since we're hanging it, maybe we'll need a noose.
I don't think so, Tim.
If I were to put a hinge right here, Al, we'd have a pretty swinging joint, wouldn't we? Take it, Al.
I don't think so, Tim.
The important thing about putting the door in is hanging it, because if it's not hung well, you got a problem, right, Al?
Speak for yourself, Tim. Are you sure you connected the spur gear to the final drive instead of the motor output shaft?
Al, I'm insulted. You know who you're talking to?
Yes, I do, Tim.
Bye, Tim.
See you, Lise. Kind of that private man time, huh?
Well, she's a coworker, Tim. I think of her as a man.
That's why you're still single, Al.
I'm not sure. I'm not married myself.
Okay, Greta, are you married?
No, I'm still looking for Mr. Right.
Al, I almost forgot. The heat's broken in my apartment. Can I stay at your place tonight?
Sure, Lisa.
Thank you.
Don't you think you should go to the emergency room?
I was just there. They said I wasn't a priority.
Why? Was there a guy with a whole table stuck to his head?
Riley's in motion. Roddy Pete's back. He's back. She's back. Jill's back. Hi, Jill. Every day I get up early in the morning, look her right in the eyes and say, Jill, I'm sorry. Would it help if I said I was sorry?
Might.
I'm sorry.
It didn't. Is this the volume? Randy, set the table.
Okay, Dad, bend over.
Whatever your mom is saying, I'm saying it. It's just that she's the one saying it, which doesn't mean that I'm not saying what she's saying. Say what I'm saying.
Join the shock-corded pole sections to form 4 poles, each 13 feet long. The poles each begin approximately 15 inches up from any floor webbing loop. Are you getting this?
Does it look like I'm getting this? Inside of a car is an internal combustion engine composed of many precision parts running at a high RPM. High RPM produces friction. Friction produces heat. Heat is dissipated by lubrication. Oil. When the car doesn't get the oil that it needs, it tends to seize up into a rock.
Are you saying the car's not running?
$9 grand hole shot.
Mr. Shit!
I pump for you, my little Edelweiss. Where's the oil? You just move with the music. You don't know how you get there, but you just get there. It's kind of like how your mom drives. I want to see a screaming fat lady with horns. I'll go to your mom's house. Yeah. That's an accomplishment. This tower has been leaning for over 800 years, and it hasn't fallen over. Kind of reminds me of my mother-in-law. That's a Finley 2-stage 5-horse Blastmaster compressor. It's got a reverse gear, who needs it, 4 forward gears, and a suicide clutch. Chrome valve covers, aluminum high-rise, and a 4-barrel carburetor. Had tubular headers, glass packs, chrome the Canuter valve. That's 16 speeds. Tandem axle. Hundreds of parts, working high RPM, 800 horsepower. Tolerances of 1,000. Machined by hand, blueprinted, ported, and polished. Standard, Davis, Phillips, Flathead, what?
Flathead.
Don't do that.
He likes it.
Randy, you let go of that rope or I'm gonna hot glue your little head to the garage door.
Why are you always blaming us?
Because we're always guilty, aren't we?
We didn't do anything.
Your little brother was underneath that garbage can smelling it. Where do you get these ideas?
They just come to me.
Hey, Randy, you finish your homework?
Yeah?
You wanna help?
No.
Where did I go wrong with him?
Don't worry about it. He's not yours.
What are we gonna do about Brad and Randy? They keep tormenting Mark.
That's why we had Mark, so they'd leave us alone.
Excuse me, are these your boys?
What did they do?
Well, they handcuffed a kid to a video game and they covered him with silly string.
Oh, those aren't my boys.
I've never seen him before in my life.